This video is rated G for gas.
A few weeks back, I made a video about the synths that I most regret letting go of. And high up on that list was the Novation Peak. Now, as luck would have it, just a couple of days after that video, I had the opportunity to buy one used and reunite with this long-lost love of mine. Now, I don't know if you've ever had the chance to re-encounter someone or something that you once cherished way back in the day, but there's always a chance that over the years you've been apart, you built them up so much that when you finally come face to face, they end up being, sadly, a huge disappointment. I've spent the last few weeks getting thoroughly reacquainted with the Peak, and I'm happy to say, not only is it just as amazing as I remembered it, it's actually way better. Just so you know, this video isn't really meant to be a review. Novation isn't paying for it, and as far as I know, they don't even know that I exist. This video does have a sponsor that helps me support the channel, my good friends at Analog Cases, but I'll talk about them a little bit later. Hi, welcome to the Midlight Synthesis. Let's get started. Peak came out in 2017, a time when hybrid synthesizers weren't as widespread as they are today. I remember that it had a great tagline too, digital where it counts, referring to its Oxford oscillators, and analog where it matters, referring to its analog filter, VCA, and distortion. With 8 voices, its polyphony struck a good balance between being able to get beautiful evolving pads and complex chords in there, while not getting too crazy high with regards to price. With 3 oscillators, ring modulation, and 2 LFOs, Peak allowed for some serious sound shaping capabilities, but the star of the show for me never really was all of its amazing features, but rather the way these capabilities were presented to the user and how the user interacted with them. Layout and control scheme of this thing is truly a work of art. If you're just getting into the synth world and only know very little of sound design, like I did when I first had the Peak, you could still manage to fly your way around this machine with ease in very little time. And now, around 6 years later that I'm using it with more experience and a much better understanding of synths in general, the user interface just feels sublime. Along with the Arturia Polybrute and probably the Sequential Pro 3, I think that Peak is probably one of the all-time greatest user interfaces to ever be featured in a hardware synthesizer. The mod matrix, for example, something that's usually very intimidating for beginner synthesis, is done here in such a straightforward way that it's been widely used all over YouTube and synth tutorials by the likes of the great Ricky Tinez, for example, to explain complex routings and modulations. With regards to hardware controls, it has knobs where it counts and faders where it matters, to use Novation's own marketing lingo. The menu diving is thankfully always kept at a bare minimum, and it feels like you mostly tend to find what you're looking for with the dedicated hardware control most of the time. The knobs themselves feel amazing, with a great resistance to them along with a rubbery surface, so it feels like a rugged instrument that won't break under heavy usage.
Are you tired of this happening to you? You choke on your morning banana and suddenly spill coffee all over your Peak. You forgot you left your OPXY on the desk and accidentally squish it when you sit on it. You sneeze, drop your book, and break your Okos in half. Well, worry not, my accident-prone friend, because Analog Cases has you covered. Analog Cases makes custom cases for most popular synths and groove boxes, as well as desktop stands, performance stands, and my favorite, the TrackPack Backpack. Use my affiliate link in the description to get a discount on your next purchase.
Thank you so much, Analog Cases, for supporting me and other creators like me. Now, back to the video. Another thing that makes the Peak stand out is just how quickly it changes from preset to preset. Hook it up to a sequencer that sends quick program changes and just watch the magic happen in front of you. Now, when I had the Novation back then, I was on firmware 1.0, which was already pretty good, but Novation has a great track record of releasing firmware updates for their gear to keep it feeling fresh. Like the Bass Station 2, for example, that got a duophonic mode years after its release. The Peak is no exception, and since its release, it's been updated to version 2.0, which introduced stereo modes with voice panning and more modulation and improved effects modes. It doesn't hurt that there are also a ton of really great preset libraries available both from Novation and third parties, so you can always load up a new batch if you're bored with what's already in there. At this point, it's kind of inevitable for me, but I feel that, as usual, when I talk about synths, my reviewer side keeps taking over, and I have this need to keep coming up with tangible reasons of why this thing is so good, when in reality, the truth is that no individual component is what's responsible for my general enjoyment of the Peak. It's really one of those machines that's just so much more than the sum of its parts. It's a huge playground of soundscapes, of aggressive leads, of dreamy pads. Its sound palette is as broad as it is easy to access, and every time I sit with it, I can just spend hours endlessly tweaking away while also making actual music, which isn't something you can easily do with every synth out there. To put it simply, it's one of the few synths that I can confidently recommend to absolutely anyone who has ears, basically, and enjoys music as much as they enjoy sound design. It can handle pretty much any style of music that you throw at it with grace, and if there was ever a synth that deserved the moniker of workhorse, this is definitely it. Now, once upon a time, a very gas-ridden midlife synthesist got rid of the Novation Peak to buy something else. I hope I'm wise enough now to hold on to it now that it's back. If you're still here and you enjoyed this video, please remember that you can always support my channel with something as simple as just clicking the like button, subscribing, or leaving me a comment, even if it's just to say hi. As always, thank you so much for watching. Have a great week. I'll see you next time.